Hello and welcome back to Amnesia, The Dark Descent. So last episode we went on down the elevator which collapsed above us, barely escaping with our lives, and now we are in a prison section. And Daniel was having some mild hallucinations when he went down here. Now this is actually going to be one of the more spooky parts of the game. This and then the section right after, as you can hear, there's some stuff going on. There is specifically hallucinations from Daniel's time in here. And that noise there is actually the same noise as one of the enemies in the game. Luckily, that is not going to be the case for just a few seconds. Oops, I keep on forgetting exactly how low my oil is because I'm letting myself use it more. But I'm going to just try to explore everything because a lot of these side rooms do actually have stuff in them. Normally when I go through here, I actually just know exactly where to go, so I don't know precisely where each and every item is. Yeah, and you can hear there's just yelling, there's screaming, there's crying, all of that. But first, I want to light that, and I actually want to go on down here because there's going to be a room. And I think it's, yes, this room here has a hammer. We're going to need the hammer in the future to get past one of the puzzles of this section. But we also are going to need this oil, because as you can see, I am running pretty darn low on oil supplies. And if we go on down towards this door, something's going to happen here. Yeah, it might be a little bit hard to see because of how dark the game is, but yes, what we had here, Daniel just hallucinated something slamming into this door. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to get behind this. It's just a hidden doorway that has a spooky event occur. And it's stuff like that that make the hardest difficulty mode in this game really tough to do. Because all of those, they drain your sanity. Like, I'm at ... and if I have another sanity event hit, I'm just going to pass out immediately. And that would actually kill you in the hardest difficulty. And there's not really a way to stop that. You just kind of have to not trigger them and just be really lucky. That makes it kind of difficult, but I don't know, I do want to at one point beat it because I love this game. I love how it looks. I love pretty much everything about it. I mean, this game single-handedly sold me on horror back in the day. Back in, I think, 2010 when it came out. Alright, so we're going to go on up here, and that is one of the gatherers. So we're going to hide on back this way. And that gatherer is actually going to go hang out. He's going to walk on down, and then he's going to leave eventually. Yep, there he is. He's just kind of hanging out there. I want to tuck myself back in. Should walk back up, and I think I don't remember if he walks up and disappears, or if he walks up and he just goes into a patrol route. You can hear there's still music playing, though, so I think as long as the music playing, the monster is still spawned. Or at least is able to actually do something to us. Let's see, I have 28 tinder boxes. Let's really quickly light up one of these. And then let's just hang out. I want to make sure that he doesn't come around the corner. Yeah, that screaming and all that. Because I think, yeah, if Daniel does actually get crazy enough, when he collapses to the ground, that's what I was trying to do. Not pick up the chair, pick up the oil. Although I guess it would be kind of funny if Daniel just picked up a chair and slammed it into one of the monsters when it chased him. Oh, hey. Hallucination time.
Where did she go? You're just making things worse. Look, this is no place for a young girl all by herself. She could be hurt, or worse. There's no telling what horrors await down there.
So you might have noticed the voice there. That was actually Daniel. Daniel was interrogating someone. It was a mother of a daughter who was also held captive here. Hey, a chipper. Which is actually an item that we need to put with the hammer. Yes, so the mother and the daughter were here, and the daughter managed to escape the cells. Daniel's not particularly happy about that. Alright, so it's locked. However, the lock is very corroded and weak. We should be able... Yeah, we can hammer it open. And I want to get inside of here because... Oil! A few drops of oil, and I'm about half full. So now I need to head on down to the left side. So, there's a semi-random event that can occur here. Here we go, yep. Sometimes it seems to trigger here, sometimes it seems to trigger when you head down that way. What it does is it actually blows out every single one of these torches. So if you've been going around lighting everything up, you just lose all of the light and it ends up being a waste. Not a huge... Oh god, that's not good. That's the monster. So let's go ahead and just hide in the corner here, and I'm going to hope that he does not walk inside. Because what I need to do is the door that's just that's there. That's where I need to go. Oh god, I'm actually in a really bad place. Oh, hello. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, he's going to hit me. Yep, let's, yeah, screw it. We're going to go this way. Alright. Oh, this is not the time, game.
But Mother, I don't want to leave without you.
Hurry, child. You must go. Find Gabriel, the Outrider, and tell him to alert the King's men.
No, you come too.
Please, we don't have time to make the hole any wider.
But
Someone is coming. Hurry! I'll cover the hole with the bed. Everything will be fine. I promise you.
And that was the actual tale of the mother as she taught her daughter how to escape. So I think it's what it is that she eventually made it to the other room, and that's where they had the chipper tool, but they didn't have a hammer to force it open. So they made a little hole here, and it was kind of hard to tell. I thought this thing was going to come chasing in, and I needed to escape quicker. But yeah, so what they did is they chipped open the hole, the daughter crawled inside, and then the mother got found out by Daniel later. So let's read this. Moving that orb was like pushing a star in the night sky. It wasn't supposed to happen. The shadow isn't some vengeful spirit, it is the universe catching up with itself. Which is kind of interesting as an idea, and it sort of promotes the Lovecraftian feel of this game because of the fact that the orbs have weird powers and they have weird control things that they can do to the universe, but whenever you take it, if you're trying to abuse its power, the shadow seems to try to stop you. And it's never, like, if that says that the shadow is just this thing, or the shadow is the universe catching up with itself, but it is somewhat actually intelligent. And we'll see in a little bit what, if I ever die, we'll actually see a good example of that. Okay, so we have a couple of ways that we can go. So this way is actually going to be locked off. And I don't, yeah, the gate is locked, and the padlock in excellent condition. This door should also be locked. Going up there is actually going to be... It's going to show us what we need to go and get. Oh yeah, and you have these nice little signs that say where you have what stuff is, so that's the kitchen. But instead, we need to go to the storage area. This is going to be our actual route to move forward, because we have to go get a glass jar to hold some kind of a liquid in it. Just gonna move on out. You know, actually, I guess I'll use that. Yeah, once I'm getting... Well, what did that just say? Help me? Oh, hey, light. Ah, it must have actually... This would probably be, like, really good for your sanity to see sunlight. Cell area 3. What was I saying? I don't even remember this one. Ah, that's the storage. Alright, let's go to the left first. You know, I can't even remember what the heck I was talking about. Oh, hello. What's down here? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna actually give you a bit of fair warning here. After this.
Anybody, help! Christ, I don't believe this. Why? I mean, why? What did I do to deserve this? I mean, it can't be. Do I deserve this? It wasn't my fault. Why did he have to go in there? Don't go into burning houses. He should have known better.
So that was one of the prisoners. From what I understand, what happened with that guy was, I think he set a house on fire. Oh, just full disclosure, there's going to be like naked corpses and stuff that we're going to come across, and we're going to see one of those in that room I just opened up, but if that offends you for any reason, be warned, it'll be coming up in just a second. But let's check out this note.
2nd of August, 1839. I have arrived at the village of Altstadt. It's a haven in the midst of a vast forest and the last stop before my final destination, Castle Brennenburg. It's late in the evening, and the outrider, who has been with the coach since Bremen, advised me to wait until morning before I venture further. I've arranged for a bed at Der Müller, the village's only inn, and am now waiting for the sun to rise. I try to sleep, but as I close my eyes, I see the men who fell victim in London. My fear and shame forces me to witness the same scenes over and over. They are dead, Because of me.
Poor Daniel's having a really serious case of survivor's guilt here. So, as what I was saying, though... Oh, God. Yeah, what that guy did, if I recall... Yeah, there's the body, by the way. What that guy did is I think he, like, burned somebody's house down, and it's never really explained why. But he did it when nobody was home, and then I guess the owner of the house ran in... Oh, God, this is not good. The owner of the house, like, ran inside or something, and then he ended up dying in the fire. And then this guy got arrested for murder or something. So that's why he was saying it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault the guy died, and why would anyone run into a burning building? Oh look, you can see little rats. I always like forget about them because you only see them in a few areas, and they're always a nice little surprise. Yeah, so normally I actually do skip a lot of these rooms. I'll just head right to the storage, but I'm trying to give you guys most of the experience because I do want you guys to actually get to see some of the extra stuff in here. Oh boy, you know, the only thing I don't know of is exactly how mobile the threats are in this game. Let's light this quick. Oh yeah, hey, and you can see a little stairway down there. I don't think we can ever go there.
Is he safe? Well, it's for his own good.
You know what, Alexander? Kind of being a bit of a jerk here, I think. Oh god, hello. That's the monster. Yeah, let's keep on heading this way then. But yeah, occasionally we're also going to hear moments like that.
Let there be enough time.
Where we're going to hear Alexander talking. Oh yeah, and there's another one of the monsters. Let's go in here though quick. Oh dear. Okay, that's not good.
Where is he now?
But yeah, Alexander will actually talk to his servants like telepathically, and we're somehow linked up to that. Here's another note though.
3rd of August, 1839. I feel like I have fled the world and all its worries. Brennenburg is a majestic creation perched upon a forest-clad hill with towers reaching well above even the highest pine trees. Following the winding road leading to the gates gives the impression of discovering something forgotten, as if journeying with Marco Polo to the hidden Xanadu. Alexander, the Baron, is a peculiar but gracious man. He seems well versed in worldly matters and is not at all as eccentric as I assumed. My room is exquisite, and I'm confident that no hotel for miles could even hope to match it. As the sun sets on Brennenburg, its fairy tale varnish turns to an eerie gloom. Alexander's strange servants are never far away. They are a quiet lot, and their behavior could only be described as skulking. Alexander seems pleased by my presence. As he puts it, it seems like I got here just in time.
Yeah, so Alexander obviously knows a few things about this place. So, what I can say, that monster actually disappears once you go through there. Also, do not open this door. If you open it, there's a little room back there that the monster comes out of, and then he kicks in the door. There is, however, a oil canister in there, if memory serves, so I will probably try to get it at some point. But, now we're down here. This is actually the end of the storage area that we needed to get to. I want to light this up as well. And this is going to have the item that we want. It's a glass jar. So let's go ahead and grab that. Let's grab some more of these tinder boxes, and I think there's also a chest in here that has some maybe oil and tinder in it. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. And now I'm sitting at 5 and 30, and I actually have 5 heals. I have a little bit of damage to me, but I'd rather wait until I take one more hit. Let's lightly top off our oil just in case I do need it to run away. I don't want to have to worry. So we're going to go this way, and now we go down here, and we see there's, yep, this monster actually leaves that room, so we're going to go hide around the corner quickly. And I think what he's going to do is walk down here, and then he's going to turn and go back the way he came. So I just need to go retrace my steps, get all the way back to the initial area, and go to the kitchen. There's going to be a barrel in there of the liquid that we need. When we saw that one monster walking down the very dark hallway earlier that I immediately turned and ran away from before we went down here, that actually, there was a door. I don't know if you could see it on the video. What that door was is it actually needs, that's the door we needed to go through. We have to go get the stuff from the kitchen first. Alright, so maybe he just didn't, I don't know. I think the monster will actually occasionally... Yeah, he doesn't always go down here. I think it depends on if they see you. And down here... Yep, there's actually his gate locked in excellent condition. We can actually go all the way down here and we can end up getting that. I don't know if I'm going to, because that would require going back down into the room that the... or down that dark hallway that the monster was at, and I don't know that it's really worth it. Alright. So, oil should be down here. Is it down here, or is it... I can never remember if it's in here or if it's... Yeah, it's in this back room. Okay. And now I just need to trace my steps back and try not to die, because this is already going to be pretty risky. Okay, so that's his kitchen. Let's try to just go the direct route. Every time that the game does a little pausing jerk, and I know it's kind of hard to see because of how just friggin' dark this game is, I always get a little bit nervous that there's like something bad happening. But I will say too, this game, like, despite being how old it is, it does darkness really, really well. I mean, it actually is that dark, even if it gives you that little sort of blue aura boost type of thing when you're standing in the darkness. Oh, and about that, I was actually wrong earlier. I was, for some reason, mixing up Amnesia and Penumbra. Because Penumbra has the panic event, where if you stare at something too long, you freak out and enemies are instantly alerted to you. In this game, that actually isn't the case. Alright. Oh, yep, and therein lies the problem that I was hoping would not arise. So, a monster, at some point whenever you get in here, will actually always come up through that doorway. Sometime, and I think it depends on exactly how much progress you've made. Come on. Daniel, need you to move, buddy. Yeah, because sometimes it's going to be, if you come in here first, he'll end up just showing up after, like, you open the door for the first time. You can see him trying to smash his way in. Yep, so let's just go ahead and hide. Other times, yeah, he ends up gumming up as soon as you close the doors. I don't remember if there's a way to not have him spawn. I know some enemy encounters you can actually not have spawn, and I think it's if you leave certain doors open, like the one in the room that had the key behind the painting. If you leave that open and don't ever go to the far side, that monster will not spawn, I know that much. Yeah, you can hear him whispering back there. Let's see, can I stand up quick? I have also seen a video where because what this monster does is he walks all the way up to the center and then he turns back around. A guy was actually just hiding like on the opposite side of this wall, and the monster just walked right past him and left, which was really, really funny, and it kind of defused the tension of the moment. Alright, I don't see the monster, so I need to first, let's grab this, and I need to head on down to this bucket. What this bucket is a bunch of acid. Yeah, the glass holds the acid safely. Oh, laudanum. Yeah, and sadly, you can't just put one of these in, because when you do that, the bottleneck is too narrow for the flask to be filled without spilling, but a glass container is an ideal vessel, so that just tells you what you need to do. Let's see then. Is he... Yeah, I can't see the monster. Sometimes you can actually see them walking down at the end, and then they turn the corner and disappear. Alright, nothing else this way. Let's go check this note then. I wonder if this is part 3 of Daniel's diary. I think it's the Brennenburg chapter.
4th of August, 1839. The nightmares woke me in the early morning, and for a moment I forgot where I was. Shortly after, there was a knock on my door. Alexander had heard my screams and asked me to join him in the parlor. As we drank our tea, Alexander began to tell me what he knew. It seems like the orb I found casts a long and dark shadow. It's not only a powerful item, but a dangerous one. Simply by touching it, you invoke the powers within, and if you are too weak to control it, it will devour you. The shadow is a sluggish thing, lagging behind the wielder, killing anyone or anything in its path to reclaim the orb. I said I didn't care about its powers, and that I should throw it away. Alexander advised against this, as I'd still be a part of the path to the orb, and eventually suffer death. Having the orb, I would at least have the chance to fight back when the time came. I asked Alexander what he meant when he said he could protect me, and he answered that things can be done, but at a price.
All right, and that was chapter 3 of Daniel's diary of the Brennenburg section. Okay, let's see. So I'm being a little cautious because sometimes depending... I know one of the trigger events is when you get down to about here, the monster suddenly runs around this corner. He doesn't run, he just walks around the corner. And then you have to just book it right back up the stairs to get all the way up there to the kitchen. You might actually take a swing in the back that way. It's not very fun, but I think because I waited, we had a little bit of an easier time on it. And also, I do think that these, like, lighting up basically intersections and the ends of corridors is probably the smartest way of doing it. Yeah, so let's see. I think I want to head... Yeah, I think I want to head to the left again. Let's see. Nothing this way, I'm hoping. Yep. Because of how the lighting works in here, obviously if you look down a hallway, you can actually just see where... Ah, good. Alright. So let's be really, really quick about this. Yeah, because when you look down a hallway, you can actually see where the enemies are. Alright, and now it's going to be noisy. Hello. And a monster actually spawns. But there's something kind of funny about these monsters. They can't see you through this, despite this being... Oh, hello. There is a, Tinder. Oh, really? Oh. Hey, buddy. Yeah, let's go ahead and close you again. Yeah, for some reason the monster AI treats this as like a solid door, and he doesn't always have the ability to see you through it. But if I stand here and do this, he should turn around... Really? Wow, okay. Yeah, but other times he will actually go ahead and he'll try to bust his way in here. It just depends on your luck with the AI. So let's see if he... Really? Man? Okay. Well, whatever. I've gone ahead and showed it to you. Yeah, the AI for this particular area is a little bit weird. And I think it's just all of the doors have the same code. So all of the... Like, this is treated like a solid door that way. Alright, are you just going to keep on standing there? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, let's move forward. We're going on to the entrance to the cistern now. Let's read. He unraveled the cloth protecting the orb. Alexander reached out, picked it up, and held it up against the light. Cover it, he said. Keep it covered at all times. So, we're getting a little further into the story as well. Oh yeah, and that was the prison northern block. And now this is where Alexander and Daniel have started digging into the orb more.
So you used the drain sewers as a means of transport?
Yes, they were built to divert water from an underground spring, and are quite spacious. It seemed only natural to incorporate it into the overall structure.
But we won't be using it.
Not today. The flow is seasonal, and when the spring runs dry, the damp tunnels produce a rather poisonous type of fungi. There is an antidote, of course, but we won't be bothering with it today. Come, this way instead. We're almost there.
Yes, so the poisonous fungi is actually a problem, and that's going to be sort of our next objective. So first, let's see, I can't get through the big door, and that's the actual way forward, but it looks like Alexander or Daniel locked it up. And now this lever is not going to pull. It's stuck, it needs to have the gears greased. So for some reason, they just have this pipe that's dropping like oil or something like that, and we can go ahead and fill it up, and that'll use up this container. And down here, you'll start to notice a little bit of, like, there's some water, and then there's a little bit of a greenish fog that you can just see the effects of. That's actually the poisonous fungi. So we need to do two things. First, we need to go ahead and lower the water level. Second, we need to go ahead and get an antidote for the fungi. And that's what Alexander was just talking about. Let's go ahead and let's grease up the wheel. Now let's grease this up. And now we need to do what I think is kind of one of the weirder puzzles in this game. We have to raise and lower that ladder that's there, and we have to raise and lower it 3 times, and it somehow has enough force, despite being a wooden ladder, to break this metal pipe. It's a really weird little puzzle. I don't know why it's here, but it does give us a little bit of sanity, and you can see now we're actually crystal clear, and we just have a few cuts and bruises. Alright, and what I'm actually going to do, just to save us some time, is I'm going to throw a rock up there. Wonderful. And, oh, wait, did I just run out of oil as soon as I went up here, or did he just put it away? I shouldn't have run out of oil, should I? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm actually pretty low, so let's just put this down because I don't need it. So, we have 2 platforms here, each one leads to a different section, plus we have this door. So, let's first take a look. So, let's see, this one doesn't do anything, and neither... Well, this one lowers that. And that just gave us an entry. That's notes. Let's see, mementos. Repair the machine powering the eastern bridge. Good. So the reason I'm holding this up here is because eventually this one we're going to be able to bring down with the leftmost lever. But what's going to happen is we're actually going to have to throw something at it to like dislodge it. It's going to come about halfway down. So we have two places that we can go. We can either go down here or we can go into that section. I'm actually going to go into here first because we're going to have to do all three of these anyway. This is the proper cistern. And let's read. The beautiful wild orchids seemed a testament to nature's strength, being able to grow inside Brennenburg. Alas, it was Alexander's studies and care which enabled the flower to blossom. Alright, so we have to do a few things here. Of course, there is water, and this actually has a really, really entertaining section in it. I'll talk about it after this.
Serving water from the spring.
Yes, it enables me to control the water in the drain sewers to some extent. Also, it can be used for all sorts of purposes.
Like for drinking.
Well, that too. But mostly to run different machines.
Ah, like water mill.
Exactly.
You can see how much Alexander was just thinking to himself, God, this guy's an idiot. I want to point out something here, though. You might have just heard a noise. There is... Well, first there's a chest here that I really want. You hear this, though. Let's take a listen. A faint murmur echoes through the large, empty chamber. See if I can hear anything. It sounds like a person talking. And you'll notice that there's a pipe up there. So, let's go on down. We actually have to turn 3 valves, and we need to basically start flooding that container. Oh yes, and our old friend, the what I don't know if we ever really figured out. It's like Kaernk, the Kaernk thing, the water monster. It may or may not be here. Let's go ahead. I'm actually... Oh, what is this? Redirect sewer water. Let's turn this, and then I'm going to read the note quick. Alright, so the area darkens up, and we just got another memento. There are valves in the cistern to redirect water from the sewer.
7th August, 1839. There is no denying that Alexander puts a lot of faith in what I can only describe as magic. I'm not surprised. Even while traveling across Europe, I assumed Alexander turned.
Hang on one second. Okay, so that's a weird little bug that this game has. For some reason, when you go into that event, like reading stuff, it like loops audio. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just pull that up and I'll read it in a second. Yeah, you can hear this. Water has slowly begun to fill the chamber, and you can hear someone crying in there. Let's actually go on. I want to go over... Ow. Oh, that's right. That was a pretty far drop, wasn't it? A wound is bleeding badly. Let's get back to cuts and bruises. Oh, hey, look, it's my old friend Steam. But first off, let's pull open that note, and let's see. That wasn't a note. I think it was diary entries, wasn't it? Discovery, that's right. So the 7th of August, 1839, there is no denying that Alexander puts a lot of faith into what I can only describe as magic. I'm not surprised. Even while traveling across Europe, I assumed I would have to embrace the supernatural to save my mind and life. As a novice, I do everything in my power to stay focused and not dwell too much on my own doubts. Alexander woke me up early and told me it was time we got started on our work. He was obviously excited to get going, and we headed downstairs to the old dungeon where he preferred to attempt his rituals. It turns out that Alexander is a true Renaissance man, paralleled only by Da Vinci, I'm sure. He showed me several rooms fitted for specific research, such as anatomy studies, alchemy, and botany. The crown of Brennenburg must be the inner sanctum, a most hallowed ground where we shall attempt to permanently banish the orb's shadow. So, yes, Daniel has kind of realized that he's in over his head a little bit, and he needs to embrace supernatural solutions to fight a supernatural enemy. This is basically just a series of timing puzzles, which obviously are my forte. Let's go ahead and go through here. I'm just going to take them one at a time, and that valve over there, when I get to it, is actually going to allow me... I can never remember which way to spin it. I think it's all the way to the right? One of these makes the steam permanently stop. Yeah, it's all the way to the right. That's good. And then we head on over this way, and we go to another valve. Yes, and you can see there's more of that stuff there. Let's actually... I know also there's some hidden stuff up here. I think the third valve we're going to go to has an item. But first, let's read this so I don't have to reread all of that, because that was a little tiring.
8th August, 1839. I could never be certain until today that I was on the right path. Using my orb, Alexander managed to channel its power unto us. The inner sanctum flared with blue, fiery light, and I could feel the same things I felt in the dark chamber in Algeria. It was like standing in a mad whirlpool of impressions. It was terrifying, but Alexander kept calm and wielded strange tools of science in order to tame the storm. Suddenly, the blue light was stained by strains of red, and the walls burst with pulsating tissue resonating with the scene. Alexander quickly covered the orb in some cloth, and the unspeakable thing vanished. Apparently, the orb's shadow is closer than Alexander thought. He said I should prepare for a warding ritual tomorrow. I'm not sure what he expects, but I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, so Daniel has finally realized exactly the problem, but he doesn't realize the extent of the problem. What Alexander is trying to do, and as you've been able to tell, Alexander's been a little bit of a sneaky lying shitbird to Daniel, but what Alexander is trying... Oh, hey, fish! I always forget that these are down here, too. There's just, like, random trout. And you can hear this person is crying more. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so Alexander, though, has been being very, very bad, because whenever he's doing that, the shadow thinks he's trying to abuse the orb's power, so it keeps on getting angry and showing up. And I think it has to be somewhere near the orb to directly influence events like that. Also, we're going to have a little talk here. This is one of the only sections of the game that for the life of me I could not figure out the first time I played it. I never knew that you could take this rock, throw it, and bring this down. So I just straight up never was able to do this section. Which, eventually, if you actually wait enough, if you keep entering and leaving, if you go to the other puzzle that was at the end of the hallway that had the levers next to it through the door, this place will actually eventually take care of itself. But that was really irritating, and I think it was like 2015 or 2016 that I finally saw how to do that. And that was just really embarrassing, because it was just one of those little outside-the-box things that I just didn't think of doing. But this is going to be our third valve. I need to sneak on by. One of the weaknesses of this section, too, is that if you do fall in the water, you pretty much have to go all the way back to it. Not a huge deal, but it's inconvenient enough to be worth noting. Here we go. I thought there was oil over this way. And this should be the third diary entry of Daniel.
9th of August, 1839. It is still early, and Alexander is busy preparing for the ritual later today. Seeing him this worked up makes me question why. What does he stand to gain? I realize he is curious about it all, but surely there must be more. Is he so foolish he will attempt to tame the power of the orb? I must admit that yesterday, when Alexander flooded the inner sanctum with blue light, I realized we had but graced the orb's true potential. This might turn out to be more than escaping a creeping shadow. It might be the beginning of something truly extraordinary.
Well, Daniel, you're partially correct. Yeah, and this is just also redirect sewer water. And, of course, as they do this, I do also think that turns off the torches. It's another burst of air like that. Yeah, Daniel isn't quite realizing exactly what's going on yet, though. He's still caught up with the fact that the shadow wants to chase him. And I don't know if there's actually a way to stop the shadow from chasing you, if it just decides that you deserve to die. Like if you just gave it the orb. Yeah, there's one of these out here. So there actually is a concept art piece, I think, of the Karnak. And I want to say it actually looks like a fish. If I remember right, it looks like a very large angry trout that's like, its back is kind of shredded, like the back tail area. It's something really weird, but the actual model for it is just a sphere, but it's invisible. The red taint burst from the walls as if they had begun to bleed. He cried out in fear as the spectacle began to consume the blue shimmer. Yes, and Daniel has made very, very dumb mistakes. Now, if we were to go down there, we'd actually see that the water has lowered, but... Oh, and yeah, there's now water coming out of here. This pipe, for some reason, is just splattering it all over us. But if we went down there, we'd start taking damage from the... Oh, whatever the heck, I can't speak today. We'd start taking damage from the fungus. Alexander knew there must be a way to finish the ritual before it was too late. He had to teach his friend to harvest the vitae. That much was certain. So I'm just taking a look at the time. I'm going to end this video here. Next time, we're going to solve this puzzle to turn on the machinery. We're going to lower the other side of the bridge, and then we're going to make our way down through the fungus-infested area. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next time.